Behind every glossy candy and pillowy loaf you buy lurks a hidden ingredient you never asked for, whether it's insect extract, petroleum oil, or water injected into your meat. These unsettling additives aren't just strange, they carry real health hazards. So, join us for today's video as we reveal the 15 disturbing things companies add to food, and trust us, they will shock you. Number 15. Carmine. Ever wonder why your strawberry yogurt or red juice looks unnaturally bold? Well, it's not all fruit. Companies often use carmine, which is a bright red dye made by crushing cochineal insects. Yep, those tiny beetles are smashed in huge numbers just to give food that picture-perfect red tone. It takes nearly 100,000 bugs to make around 2 pounds of this coloring. It's been used for centuries, and yes, it's natural. But let's be honest, natural doesn't always mean appetizing. Carmine is preferred over synthetic red dyes because it's more vibrant and supposedly safer. Still, it's an insect extract, and many people have no idea they're eating it because labels often just say color added. If you're vegan, allergic, or just not into eating ground-up bugs, that's a problem. So while that smoothie looks fresh and fruity, it might come with a side of bug blood. Thanks, food industry. Your definition of natural needs a serious reality check. Number 14. Lanolin in cereal. That golden flake in your cereal or vitamin-enriched margarine might have a weird origin. Lanolin, the waxy substance found on sheep's wool. It's the same stuff that keeps sheep warm and waterproof. It is processed, cleaned, and turned into a key source of vitamin D used in food and supplements. Why lanolin? Because it's packed with cholesterol and other fats that can be converted into vitamin D3 when exposed to UV light. So instead of making vitamin D from scratch, companies grab it straight from wool grease. And before you panic, it's purified and tested, so you're not munching raw barnyard oil. Still, knowing your cereal's nutrients started as sheep sweat isn't exactly comforting. It's one of those ingredients that flies under the radar, quietly hiding behind vitamin-enriched claims. It's efficient, sure, but if you thought you were eating clean, lanolin is one of those sneaky add-ins that proves natural doesn't always mean what you think it does. Number 13. Red dye. Number Mundram. That vibrant red glint on your candy? Yeah, it's not just for looks. Red dye number 3, a synthetic colorant made from petroleum, was yanked from the FDA's safe list after being linked to cancer in lab studies. And yet, somehow, it's still slipping into snack aisles across the US. How? Well, easy. Manufacturers are dragging their heels, and loopholes let this toxic dye stick around in countless products. You'd think once a health agency throws up a warning, it'd be lights out. But nope. This chemical chameleon keeps showing up in candy, drinks, and processed food, all to make them look more tempting than they are. The worst part is that while your brain's going yum color, your body's playing roulette with potential carcinogens. Other countries have phased it out completely, but in the US, it's business as usual. Red dye number 3 is still in the mix. Number 12, silicon dioxide. Before you shake that spice blend or gulp down supplements, take a second look. Many contain silicon dioxide, aka sand, the same basic stuff you find on the beach. Silicon dioxide works as an anti-caking agent, meaning it keeps powders from clumping up or sticking together in the bottle. Without it, your chili powder would be more brick than sprinkle. Food-grade silicon dioxide is considered safe and inert, meaning it doesn't mess with flavor or chemical makeup. It's everywhere, in seasonings, coffee creamers, protein powders, and even some baked goods. Sounds wild, but it does its job without fuss. Still, thinking you're seasoning your food with finely milled quartz is a bit unsettling. While it's not toxic and the FDA approves its use, it's not exactly what people picture when they read spices on a label. The stuff that helps keep your garlic powder dry and smooth is purified sand. It's functional, but not the flavor anyone's craving. Number 11. Castoreum. Vanilla or raspberry flavor sounds all natural. Castoreum, sourced from beaver anal glands, might be what's behind that taste. Castoreum is a natural flavoring that some companies sneak into vanilla and raspberry-flavored snacks and drinks. Sounds clean and plant-based, right? Natural is one way to put it, but secretions from beaver scent glands are another. It's collected from the castor sacs of beavers, which they use to mark territory. Delicious. Now, before you lose it, castoreum is rare and expensive to get, so it's not flooding your food. Most vanilla flavoring today is synthetic, but the fact that castoreum still gets used at all isn't what most people picture when they order a vanilla shake or bite into raspberry gum. Is this just nature doing its weird thing, or companies trying to cut corners with bizarre ingredients? Either way, it's a food fact that'll make you side-eye anything with the words natural flavor slapped on the label. Number 10. Fake banana flavor. Ever bite into banana candy and wonder why it tastes off? That's because most artificial banana flavors aren't made from real bananas at all. They're built in labs using a compound called isoamyl acetate, a synthetic chemical crafted from sugarcane, corn, or even fossil fuels. Yep, your banana lollipop might be flavored with the same molecule bees release to warn the hive when danger's near. That artificial banana flavor we all know is based on the Gros Michel banana, a variety that was wiped out by disease and is now rarely seen. Today's bananas are different, which makes the fake flavor feel even stranger. Companies use isoamyl acetate because it's cheap, consistent, and doesn't spoil. But knowing your favorite candy is flavored with a bee panic signal cooked up from industrial ingredients kind of kills the vibe. While it's safe to consume, it's a synthetic shortcut that reminds us how far modern food has drifted from actual fruit. Number 9. Fake cocoa butter. Chocolate is the comfort snack we all rely on. But here's something most people don't realize. A lot of what you think is chocolate doesn't even use real cocoa butter. Instead, companies swap it for cheaper stuff like hydrogenated oils or emulsifiers to fake that creamy texture. Real cocoa butter comes from cocoa beans and gives chocolate its signature melt-in-your-mouth smoothness. But since it's expensive, many manufacturers cut corners with substitutes made from processed vegetable oils. These replacements may feel similar, but they lack the rich flavor and natural benefits. Worse, some include trans fats, which are terrible for heart health. The label usually won't say fake cocoa butter either. It'll be listed as vegetable fat or emulsifier, which sounds harmless but doesn't tell you the full story. So while you think you're indulging in quality chocolate, you might actually be eating oil-thickened candy with no real cocoa perks. Number 8. Water-injected meat. Here's a meaty little secret straight from the supermarket aisle. Up to 30% of the meat you're paying for could actually be salt water. That's right. Meat processors inject brine into cuts of beef, pork, and chicken to pump up the weight. So, that pricey chicken breast or juicy steak? It might be a third liquid. This trick, known as enhancement, makes meat appear plumper and keeps it from drying out. But it also means you're shelling out for less meat and more water. And the salt, that can mess with both flavor and your sodium intake. Even worse, many packages don't clearly label the amount of added solution, so you're often left guessing. If your meat feels overly heavy or oddly juicy, chances are it's been treated. That juicy bite might not be as real as it looks. While the practice is legal, it's also quietly misleading. And if you're trying to eat clean, it's not good. Number 7. Potassium bromate in bread. Potassium bromate is an ingredient that sounds like it belongs in a lab, not your sandwich, but it's still floating around in American bread. Used to strengthen dough and help loaves rise faster, this flour treatment agent makes bread fluffier and gives it that picture-perfect bakery bounce. But here's the issue. It's banned in over 100 countries because animal studies have linked it to cancer. Yet somehow, it's still legal in the US. Why? Well, that's because companies argue that if the bread is baked properly, the bromate breaks down before you eat it. But if the baking isn't flawless, residues can remain. That's where things get murky. No one's testing every bun, and there's no warning label. So the bread you grab off the shelf might come with a little more than flour and yeast. It's frustrating knowing the rest of the world said no, while the US keeps using it like it's nothing. When it comes to bread, the hidden risks shouldn't be part of the recipe. Number 6. Artificial sweeteners. Those zero-calorie sweeteners in your sugar-free gum, soda, and protein bars might seem like a win, but aspartame, sucralose, and other artificial substitutes come with baggage. They're pitched as the healthier alternative to sugar, guilt-free sweetness without the calories. But research is raising flags. Instead of helping with weight loss, some studies suggest they could contribute to weight gain by messing with how your body processes hunger and cravings. Even worse, they may disrupt your gut microbiome, the system of bacteria that supports digestion and immune health. When those microbes get thrown off, the effects can range from bloating and inflammation to blood sugar imbalance. There's also talk about long-term effects on insulin sensitivity and metabolism. Artificial sweeteners might not be as smart as they sound. Sure, they're approved in small amounts, but their impact isn't always so tiny. That can of diet soda or sugar-free snack might taste sweet now, but your body could be paying the price later. Number 5. Mineral oil in candy. Mineral oil in your candy bar? Yep, it's real. Time to double-check what you're chewing on. The same stuff you'd usually expect to see in an auto shop or coating engine parts is being used by candy manufacturers in the US to make sweets look glossy and stop them from getting sticky. Why mineral oil? Because it gives that smooth shine and keeps candies from gluing together or melting in the wrapper. Handy, sure, but here's the kicker. The kind of mineral oil used in food is part of the MOA and MOSH groups, which have been banned across the EU and UK due to cancer concerns. Meanwhile, here in the US, it's still good to go. Strange, right? One place says, "No way," and the other says, "Sure, have a little oil with your chocolate." Looks clean, but that coating might be hiding something shady. Maybe it's time to avoid Jolly Rancher candies. Number 4. Shellac from lac bugs. Here's something that might make you pause before popping that glossy candy or polished apple in your mouth. That shine? It's not just for looks, it's shellac, a glaze made from the secretions of lac bugs found in Asia. These insects release a resin that's scraped off trees, refined, and then brushed onto your fruit or candy to give it that slick, appealing finish. Basically, it's bug shell polish dressed up as food coating. Shellac is used all over. Think jelly beans, chocolate-covered nuts, and even apples in the produce aisle. It acts like nature's varnish, keeping everything looking bright and fresh for longer. Sounds efficient, but if you're vegan or just not cool with eating insect goo, this one might throw you. It's labeled as confectioner's glaze, which doesn't exactly scream bug-based. Companies love it because it's cheap and effective, but biting into that shiny candy might hit different when you realize it's got a bug-based paint job. Number 3. Hidden preservatives and texture agents. Let's talk about what's really holding your favorite snacks together. Ingredients like maltodextrin, guar gum, xanthan gum, polysorbate 80, carboxymethylcellulose, and carrageenan are hidden in everything from dressings to ice cream. These additives work overtime to give food a smooth texture, thicken sauces, and extend shelf life. On paper, they seem harmless, just binders and stabilizers. But behind the scenes, some of them are raising concerns. Recent studies suggest certain emulsifiers and gums may disrupt gut bacteria, mess with digestion, or cause inflammation. Polysorbate 80, for example, has been flagged for its potential to alter the intestinal lining, while carrageenan has been linked to gastrointestinal distress in sensitive individuals. Food makers love these additives because they're cheap and get the job done. They help make everything creamy and uniform. But at what cost? That perfect-looking scoop of ice cream might be loaded with synthetic textures that your stomach's not too happy about. Number 2. Hairy bread secret. Ever wondered how those cinnamon rolls turn out soft and fluffy every single time? Well, the secret might be something you weren't ready for: a dough conditioner made from human hair or duck feathers. L-cysteine, the amino acid used to improve dough texture and elasticity, is often extracted from keratin found in hair and feathers. It's what helps bread get that soft, stretchy bite without falling apart. The process involves heavy refinement, so you're not exactly munching on strands or fluff, but the source is still unsettling. Why use that? Because it's cheaper than synthesizing L-cysteine from scratch. It works like a charm, and most people have no idea it's even there. And manufacturers aren't required to disclose this on labels, so you're left guessing. That soft, melt-in-your-mouth cinnamon bun might have taken a wild detour through a barbershop or poultry farm before it hit your plate. Not exactly the kind of ingredient you'd expect in baked goods. Number 1. Brominated vegetable oil. This vegetable oil, if you're trying to sound smart at parties, is the ingredient that never belonged in your drink. This chemical used to be the go-to for keeping citrus-flavored sodas from looking all weird and separated. You know that greasy film floating at the top of your energy drink? BVO was added to keep that from happening. But here's the kicker. It came with some seriously messed up side effects. For years, BVO sat in sodas and sports drinks, casually affecting your brain and reproductive system. Brain fog? Yep. Fertility issues? That too. Eventually, the FDA banned it. But why was it allowed for so long? Simple. Companies liked how it kept drinks looking perfectly blended. But the real cost? People unknowingly sipping on a chemical linked to neurological and organ damage. It's like a cocktail you didn't sign up for. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you very soon.